Hey guys, it's Paul here with GearTest TV, and today I'm going to be reviewing the Skyscape Trekker from 6 Moon Designs. So the Skyscape Trekker has been around for a little while now, but they just in the last couple of years did an update to this tent. So this is the updated version, and at the time of recording this video it sells for $250, and that is just for the tent itself. That's if you want to seam seal it yourself. You can get 6 Moon Designs to seam seal it for you for I believe an extra $30. And this is a trekking pole style tent, so it requires 2 trekking poles to set up, or if you don't hike with trekking poles or you're like me and you typically hike with fixed length trekking poles, they do have optional poles that you can purchase for these. Like I said, you need 2 of them. They have them in aluminum or like these are carbon fiber. In addition to that, you will need 5 tent stakes. These are the tent stakes from 6 Moon Designs. These are probably the only thing out of this entire setup that I haven't been super happy with because, as you may be able to tell, they've bent pretty easily. But from what I can tell, it looks like on the 6 Moon Designs website that they have since upgraded their tent stakes. So the ones that they have now are probably better than these, but these did bend kind of easily, but it will require 5 tent stakes. And the last thing, if you choose to use one, is a footprint. 6 Moon Designs sells 2 different options. They have a Tyvek option, and then they have this one, which is polycro. I know this one in particular sells 2 to a pack, and they weigh only 1.2 ounces. So with all of that said, let's go ahead and set it up. I've now set up the tent and I rolled up the vestibule on both sides so that you can see what it looks like with those rolled up. The tent, as you can see, comes to a point at the head of the tent, so that's where it just takes 1 stake at the front there, and then in the back it takes 2 stakes there to anchor off the 2 corners. So this is what's called a hybrid double wall tent, and what that means is that you have 2 walls in the area like where there's the vestibule, so even when you roll the vestibule up you still have the second wall here that will keep the bugs out. But then there are also sections like right here where it's a single wall, so that just means that you don't have an entirely separate rainfly. Speaking of that, if you're interested in the materials, the sides and the top here are made out of a 20D silicone coated polyester, and the floor is made out of a 40D silicone coated polyester. As you can see, there's a bathtub floor that goes all the way around the outside. It comes up maybe 3 or 4 inches from the ground. On the sides here, this is where you put your trekking poles or the carbon fiber poles that I'm using. So it's reinforced in the corner here. Up at the top, there's a little pocket here that the end of the pole goes in. There's another pole on the inside here, but that is not removable. So I think that's one of the changes they made with this update so that you don't lose that pole. This is the slot for the other pole, and then on the middle here, there's a little hook for a lantern or headlamp, whatever you want to clip there. And then on the other side here, there's a little mesh pocket. It's only on this one side, so there's only 1 pocket, but it's big enough to hold a couple of small items. One thing I really like about this tent is just how much room there is on the inside. I'm 6'1", and as you can see, there's still plenty of room between the top of my head and the top of the tent. There's plenty of width here if you need to place any gear next to you, and there's plenty of length as well. So I put my sleeping pad on the inside of the tent just to give you some idea of the space inside. And that sleeping pad is the Climate Ultralight SL, so it's 20 inches wide by 72 inches long. It is a smaller sleeping pad, but as you can see, there's still plenty of room around the outside of it if you have a larger sleeping pad. So this is what it looks like with the vestibule down, and there's not a ton of space under the vestibule up at the front, only maybe enough space for trekking poles or boots or something small. Toward the back, there's plenty more space, so there's plenty of room for a hiking pack or something larger there. And there is a door and a vestibule on both sides of the tent. So I've had the Skyscape Trekker for almost a year now, and when I first got it, I kind of thought that it would be the tent that I would just kind of reserve for specific trips where I was trying to keep my pack weight as low as possible. But since then, it's really become my go-to tent. I love how lightweight it is. I mean, it's even lighter than the hammock setup that I used to use. I love how much room it has on the inside. I like that there's a door on both sides. I like that it's really well ventilated. There's always a nice breeze coming through, and it's held up well. If I were trying to find any negatives about this tent, it would be that sometimes it takes a little finesse to set it up just right, but then again, that's kind of the way that it goes with trekking pole tents. And as I mentioned, I wasn't super happy with the tent stakes and how easily they bent, but again, I'm pretty sure that they have upgraded the stakes since then, so not a big deal there. The only thing that I can't really speak to is its waterproofing. I've been in some light rain, but fortunately, I haven't been stuck in a torrential downpour yet, so that's really the main thing that I can't speak to. So with all of that said, I'm about to finish setting up the rest of my gear inside this tent so that I can get a good night's sleep, but I will place links in the description below if you would like to check it out for yourself. If you have any questions for me, feel free to leave those in the comment section, and I will see you guys next time.